Hello everyone, how you all doing today? Happy Wednesday. Yesterday I was reading lesson number 132, just pretty long lesson by the way, and it says, I lose the world from all I thought it was. We are practicing this idea, remembering the truth that there is nothing in this world that I really want. We are picturing this door, where we're behind that door, where we can find ourselves to be happy, protected from all of the ego's thoughts. And I'm gonna read real quick, practicing ideas for yesterday. I, who remain as God created me, would lose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. I lose the world from all I thought it was and choose my own reality instead. We're just making this choice, this conscious choice, with our decision-making mind, that we don't want to suffer. We want to be happy. And by choosing this, we're choosing reality, because reality is when you are happy. Alright, so that was the practice for yesterday. Today I'm gonna read lesson number 133. It says, I will not value what is valueless. I will not value what is valueless. Sometimes in teaching there is benefit, particularly after you have gone through what seems theoretical and far from what the student has already learned, to bring him back to practical concerns. This we will do today. We will not speak of lofty, world-encompassing ideas, but dwell instead on benefits to you. We remember, by practicing these ideas, we are doing this to ourselves, The first and only, person who's benefiting from practicing these ideas is you, actually. Not even mentioning that there's only one, no separation. You do not ask too much of life, but far too little. When you let your mind be drawn to bodily concerns, to things you buy, to eminence as valued by the world, you ask for sorrow, not for happiness. When you value these physical things, you ask for sorrow, So you ask for suffering. That's what you are doing, right? Not for happiness. This curse does not attempt to take from you the little that you have. It does not try to substitute utopian ideas for satisfactions which the world contains. There are no satisfactions in the world. Today we list the real criteria by which to test all things you think you want, unless they meet these sound requirements. They are not worth desiring at all, for they can but replace what offers more. The laws that govern choice you cannot make, no more than you can make alternatives from which to choose. The choosing you can do, indeed you must, but it is wise to learn the laws you set in motion when you choose, and what alternatives you choose between. We have already stressed there are but two, however many there appear to be. The range is set, and this we cannot change. It would be most ungenerous to you to let alternatives be limitless and thus delay your final choice until you had considered all of them in time. and not being brought so clearly to the place where there is but one choice that must be made. One choice. Another kindly and related law is that there is no compromise in what your choice must bring. It cannot give you just a little, for there is no in between. Each choice you make brings everything to you or nothing. Therefore, if you learn the tests by which you can distinguish everything from nothing, you will make the better choice. First, if you choose a thing that will not last forever, what you choose is valueless. A temporary value is without all value. Everything we see with our physical eyes, has only temporary value, right? Time can never take away a value that is real. What fades and dies was never there, and makes no offering to him who chooses it. He is deceived by nothing in a form he thinks he likes. Next, if you choose to take a thing away from someone else, you will have nothing left. This is because when you deny his right to everything, you have denied your own. Everything what you're doing this to yourself, right? Remember about that. You therefore will not recognize the things you really have, denying they are there. Who seeks to take away has been deceived by the illusion loss can offer gain. Yet loss must offer loss, and nothing more. Your next consideration is the one on which the others rest. Why is the choice you make of value to you? What attracts your mind to it? Yeah, I was actually having this question. Like, okay, alright, so you're saying that if I'm suffering, I want it. So, what is so attractive to me in suffering? That's the thing. And I got this answer like, what is attractive in drugs for addict person, right? Because they are suffering, right? They are constantly in suffer. And yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're asking yourself this question: what attracts your mind to it? What purpose does it serve? Here it is easiest of all to be deceived, for what the ego wants it fails to recognize. It does not even tell the truth as it perceives it, for it needs to keep the halo which it uses to protect its goals from tarnish and from rust, that you may see how innocent it is. Yet is its camouflage a thin veneer which could deceive but those who are content to be deceived. Its goals are obvious to anyone who cares to look for them. Here is deception doubled, for the one who is deceived will not perceive that he has merely failed to gain. He will believe that he has served the ego's hidden goals. Yet, though he tries to keep its halo clear within his vision, still must he perceive its tarnished edges and its rusted core. His ineffectual mistakes appear as sins to him because he looks upon the tarnish as his own. The rust a sign of deep unworthiness within himself. He who would still preserve the ego's goals and serve them as his own makes no mistakes, according to the dictates of his guide. This guidance teaches it is error to believe that sins are but mistakes, for who would suffer for his sins if this were so? And so we come to the criterion for choice that is the hardest to believe, because its obviousness is overlaid with many levels of obscurity. If you feel any guilt about your choice, you have allowed the ego's goals to come between the real alternatives. And thus you do not realize there are but two, and the alternative you think you chose seems fearful and too dangerous to be the nothingness it actually is. All things are valuable or valueless, worthy or not of being sought at all, entirely desirable or not worth the slightest effort to obtain. Choosing is easy just because of this. Complexity is nothing but a screen of smoke, which hides the very simple fact that no decision can be difficult. What is the gain to you in learning this? It is far more than merely letting you make choices easily and without pain. Wow, so today we are practicing how we can make choices easily and without pain, right? Because it's all about what choice we make, right? Heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds, which come with nothing to find everything and claim it as their own. We will attempt to reach this state today, with self-deception laid aside and with an honest willingness to value but the truly valuable and the real. Our two extended practice periods of 15 minutes each begin with this: I will not value what is valueless, and only what has value do I seek, for only that do I desire to find. And then receive what waits for everyone who reaches, unencumbered, to the gate of heaven, which swings open as he comes. Should you begin to let yourself collect some needless burdens or believe you see some difficult decisions facing you, be quick to answer with this simple thought: I will not value what is valueless, for what is valuable belongs to me. That's the greatest idea we are about to practice today, right? So we just we're just practicing this idea again, by the way, yeah, that no need to value what is valueless. What does it mean? So, for example, you hold dear something in this physical world, yeah? And when you are doing this, you just remember the truth that you value valueless, because it's just a temporary thing, yeah? Temporary thing has no value. It's valueless. That's why you just like overlook this world, yeah? You can look beyond this world, valuing what is valuable, right? So that's what we are doing today. And it means that we are getting less attached to this physical world, yeah? It's like sometimes people are getting so attached, so heavily attached to things, to people, yeah, in this physical world, and we just forget that it's just a temporary thing, right? And that's why ego works this way, that the more you take for yourself, yeah, the more you are gonna be happy. But unfortunately it's not working this way, right? And if you can catch yourself thinking this way, yeah, like, oh yeah, it's okay, I'm just following the ego, their own guide, yeah, their own teacher. So now I decide to follow the right teacher, yeah, from my right part of my mind, yeah. So and I decide to value what is valuable, right, which is God's love, yeah, God's presence, God's help, God's light, yeah. and light of the Holy Spirit, yeah, that actually brings everything that I want. Yeah, that's what I value, at least today. Yeah, so that's the practice for today. uh to me it feels like we are teaching ourselves to value what we forgot to value, right? Because for example, the the inner peace, the light within us, yeah, the God's love, we forgot about that. Yeah, we are programmed to reach and to approach all those physical things in this physical world, yeah, that we may think that they can bring happiness to us, but that happiness does not last. Yeah, does not last like forever. So that's why we are still like constantly searching, yeah, the answers. So yeah, I just approach this goal. Yeah, what's the next? Yeah, we're never happy. So today we are teaching ourselves how to value valuable things, right, that are connected to our source, which is God, right? All right, that is the practice for today. If you're watching my videos, thank you. Today is a little bit a dark video. It's getting dark outside. And yeah, have a great day. Try to apply this idea and see you in the next one. Bye bye.